Well, good evening, everyone. It's very evening here where I am. It's 8:30, and I'm super delighted to welcome you all to host this event. This is an event by my absolutely gorgeous and amazing friends and coaches. Uh, we've been together on a course, and it's been an absolutely amazing journey. I've gotten to know them very closely, and they'll just to blow you away today with the skills and with just who they are. So each one of them will be presenting a piece. Let me admit Denise. So for one, I'm very much looking forward to this absolutely amazing event, and I hope you enjoy it too. So without any further ado, I'm going to give you a very brief idea about how we are going to proceed. We'll first go with Laura. Laura is our yoga teacher, Reiki practitioner, and holistic health and wellness enthusiast. She enjoys sharing her passions with others and exploring ways for us all to lead a more conscious life. And I'm pretty sure from the many people who know Laura here today would attest to that. So, Laura, without any further ado, please help us with yoga. Come on.
Okay, lovely. Can I suggest that, Nabila, you mute Lorraine, Rachel, and yourself to hopefully improve the sound quality? I'm not sure if Denise, who's joined us, is muted either. According to my screen, it doesn't look clear.
Everybody is muted except you.
Apart from me and you.
Yeah, I'll just mute myself now, and then you take it from here.
Okay, perfect. So welcome everyone. It's really nice to see you this evening. Yeah, so I'm the yoga teacher, and I've got a particular interest in the mental health benefits of yoga, so as well as the obvious physical ones. And is there anyone out there who's never practiced yoga before? You don't need to have practiced yoga. Okay, yeah, no problem. Yoga is an ancient practice, and it's really a way of life as opposed to just a form of exercise. And there's many profound lessons from yoga which still apply to our lives today in the modern world. And I like to demystify yoga and make it accessible to everyone. We all can be free from self-limiting beliefs, and through all the practices today from four of us, hopefully you'll see the possibilities of that for yourselves. So shortly, I'm going to take you through a simple breathing exercise, followed by a short meditation practice. And I'm just going to take a moment to say, Nebila, I've got a message here from someone saying that the host has another meeting in progress. I don't know what that means. If there's someone in the waiting room, there might be someone in the wait. I'll leave you to keep an eye on that anyway. Okay, so I think a good way to start is just to loosen off our bodies a little bit, and we can do that exactly where we're seated just now. So I notice I'm sitting, I've got my legs crossed, so I'm going to uncross my legs to begin with. And we're going to think about our shoulders to begin with, because we can hold a lot of tension here. You know that phrase, the weight of the world being on your shoulders. So we're just going to very simply roll into the shoulders, bringing them forwards, up and back. Now, I don't know how everybody is medically, so if this isn't right for you, you just miss it out, and you can make this movement as big or as small as you need to. You might want to do one at a time. You might even want to reverse the movement, taking the shoulders round and forward. So just let you have a little play around with that, anything that should feel good. You might sense a bit of creaking or popping, and that is absolutely fine. So just loosen off there. It should feel really nice. And then we'll think about our necks. So if you want to think about lowering the chin towards the chest so that you can just feel a bit of a stretch down the back of the neck. And with a breath in, we'll take our head back up, bringing the eye gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, we'll bring the chin towards the chest again. Now, don't take the head all the way back. The neck's a really vulnerable area, so just come as far as feels right for you. Doesn't have to be all the way back. Bringing the head down, good. Let's take our head back to center. We're going to look over our right shoulder now, and then we're just going to dip the chin downwards and make a semicircle as we carefully roll our head forwards and round to the opposite side. You might want to take a nice breath in when you're looking over the other side, and then breathing out, lowering the chin, taking the head round to the opposite side again. And then we'll just return our head back to, so the chin's facing the chest, and then we'll just lift our heads back to where we started. Good. And then just feel free to have another little bit of a wriggle to loosen off, and that should hopefully release any unwanted sensations in the body there. Good. So thinking about our breath next. The breath is the most vital process in the body. It influences the activities of each and every cell and affects all aspects of the human experience. So we're going to begin with an observation of your natural breath just now. And if you've not done this before, it might feel a little odd to think about, oh, noticing my breath. You might have a temptation to try and, breathe a little deeper. But if you could just find some stillness for a moment and just notice, just observe your own breath. And in yoga, we don't judge, we don't criticize ourselves. We simply just observe, notice, and acknowledge what we find. Be a witness. And know that nothing is permanent. What you find out about yourself in one moment can change the next time you stop and look. So don't worry, doesn't matter. And if you can, breathe in and out through your nose, but don't worry if not, just breathe in any comfortable way that suits you. Every breath we take is new. Every moment in life is new. So just be a witness now. Notice your spontaneous breath, allowing it to flow naturally. And then you might start to notice subtle movements in the body as you breathe. Maybe a lift in the chest. So just taking a moment to notice. In a moment, I'm going to teach you diaphragmatic breathing or abdominal breathing. And this is a simple exercise that we can do anytime that we want to induce a feeling of calm. Most of the time, a lot of us don't actually breathe efficiently from day to day, and we spend a lot of time breathing up in the chest. This is quite a shallow breath here. And sorry, that's my dog in the background. I wish someone would deal with this. Right, the pleasures of Zoom. Where was I? Yes, so you are not utilizing the full lung capacity here. And we're kind of depriving the body of oxygen and vital energy. And in yoga, we call this energy prana. So let's think about the lower abdomen now. You might want to take one hand there, maybe two hands around the lower abdomen. Just be comfortable. Make sure you're relaxed in the shoulders. And you don't have to have your hand here. And know that everything in yoga is optional as well. You don't have to do any of this. So you want to soften your eye gaze again or close your eyes. And I'm just going to explain why this is called diaphragmatic breathing. The diaphragm is a domed sheet of muscle that separates the lungs from the abdominal cavity. And when functioning correctly, it promotes the most efficient type of breathing. So during the inhalation, the diaphragm moves downwards, pushing the abdominal contents downwards and outwards. And this is this sense of expansion in the lower belly. And when you're exhaling, the diaphragm is moving upwards. So it's like this parachute kind of motion up and down. So as you're sitting here with your awareness on this area, taking a breath in, again through the nose if you can. See if you could just send the breath all the way down to this lower abdomen, as if you were inflating a balloon. And then as you breathe out, this area just relaxes again, withdrawing. Breathing in, the belly expands. Breathing out, it contracts again. In children's yoga, we call this balloon breathing because it's a really simple visualization. And it's one that we can use as well, just visualizing expansion and contraction. So breathing like this improves lymphatic drainage from the lungs. It Massages the liver, the stomach, the intestines. It has a positive effect on the cardiac functions and blood supply in the body, improving the oxygenation of the blood and circulation. It calms the mind, quietens the noise and the mental chatter, and allows the parasympathetic nervous system to kick in, helping you feel more relaxed. So you might just want to stay with this for a moment or two longer so that you can get this sense, this feeling sense of the breath, and knowing that you can use this anytime in your life and it will just instantly have a calming effect. So for a moment, letting go of any effort to control the breath, you might want to keep your hands there or take them back on your lap. Just return to your normal breathing again. Letting go of the control and just observing once again, letting that breath come and go all by itself. And this just gives you a moment to check in, notice any effects it may have had on the body, the mind, physically, emotionally. Maybe you don't feel anything, and that's also okay. So we're going to move into our meditation practice now. So you can stay as you are if you're comfortable. Again, maybe closing those eyes or softening your eye gaze, looking at something that's not moving. And first of all, I want you to be aware of your points of contact with the earth. So if you're in a chair, feeling the sit bones grounding you. If you're on the floor, the parts of you that are in contact with the floor. And then we want to get a sense that we're sitting up tall. So visualizing energy from the sit bones traveling up the spine, knowing that we have a natural curvature of the spine. We're not trying to alter anything. We've relaxed those shoulders. You may feel the urge to just move them a little again, just to loosen off. And then your head's perfectly aligned on top. So this energy is traveling to the crown of your head. So the chin's neither facing too high up or dipping down, just somewhere neutral. In yoga philosophy, we're taught that we're more than just our physical body. We're multi-dimensional beings consisting of many layers or bodies. And when we deepen our yoga experience, we can understand more about these 5 energy bodies of our existence that make us who we are. And you might want to think of the analogy of the Russian dolls, where you have one doll, open it up, then there's another one, and then another one, and another one, each representing a different aspect of your being. So we're connected with that physical being. Now bring your awareness to the point maybe between the nose where you can start to feel the breath. Allowing that breath to flow smoothly. And being aware of the energy pulsing through your body, that energy that makes the heart beat, the lungs expand, the blood course through your veins. The force orchestrating this movement is not the physical body itself. This is your energetic being. Shifting your awareness inward still that bit further. Maybe taking attention towards the head, as if you could focus completely on your brain. And there's a part of you here that regulates sensory input, motor output. The part of you that notices if your nose is itching and commands your hand to give it a scratch. If you're uncomfortable and you need to adjust. This is a layer of you that's closely associated with the emotional aspect of the self. is where your thoughts and feelings arise. Is it possible to shift that awareness deeper still to a place that made you participate in this practice? The part of you that's commanding you to be still and complete the practice. It recognizes the value of expanding your self-awareness, and the part of you that compels you to get up in the morning, make the most of your precious life, even if a lie-in might seem more appealing. This is your inner wisdom, or the witness self, the wise self. And then perhaps taking your awareness to your heart center, your heart space, continuing to breathe smoothly and evenly. Buried deep here is an inner peace and a sense of purest happiness. Not where you experience emotional euphoria, but a perfect place of contentment and abiding stillness. It's always there, but it gets camouflaged by these other layers. Here, there is no sense of lack or fear or desire. This is your ever present state of bliss. So for a moment, you may want to take your left palm and turn it upwards so the back of your left hand is resting on your lap and your right palm is downwards, and just connecting to your breath again. And this is a gesture where we're accepting, inviting, receiving through the left positive energy. And we're sealing this by keeping our right hand downwards. So as you're breathing, you might want to recite this mantra to yourself. I am safe, I am strong, I am loved, and I belong. I am safe, I am strong, I am loved, and I belong. Maybe staying with this if you want, or just focusing on your breath. Just resting in this peace. And now with a sense that you've discovered the complexities of your existence, you now know that you're so much more than just your physical body. You know that thoughts come and go, they don't define you. And deep within you, within us all, is unconditional love, peace, contentment. I invite you to keep an open mind to the possibility that you can and you will learn to love who you are. Let's bring our palms together now and just gently start to rub the hands together so that you can create some warmth, create some heat in the hands, and you can make this quite vigorous after a while once you get used to it, so you can really sense that warmth. And then I'm going to invite you to just place those hands over the eyes and open your eyes into the darkness. Allow the eyes, to absorb the warmth that you've created, gently letting in a little light. You can bring your palms together and smile. Well done, everyone. That was lovely. I'm going to hand over to Lorraine now, who's going to take us through our next practice. Thank you. Maybe Nebila can mute me now and let Lorraine talk.
Well, oh, I got tingles all over. Thank you. Oh my God, that was so good. Thank you so much, Laura.
You're
So,
welcome.
without any further ado, while we are still in this high vibe, I'm gonna invite beautiful Lorraine, who is our spiritual coach and holistic therapist. She has a passion, and her passion and life purpose are to pass on the tools and methods to each of you so you can realize your self worth and inner strength. I've been meeting with Lorraine on a weekly basis, and this is an absolutely amazing soul we have in here. Let yourself be guided by Lorraine. Please welcome Lorraine. Lorraine, to you. My friend.
Thank you, Nebila. I hope I can live up to that now because I'm half asleep after Laura. So thanks for that, Laura. First, I just want to say, when everyone is sitting here, I really want you to sit into this and relax in this evening because we put this evening together for you guys. And I don't know, maybe you're not like me, but sometimes you're thinking, where's the sales pitch? Why a free event? Okay, so I just want to let everybody know, relax into this. There is no pitch coming. There's nothing. This is just for you guys. Okay, we came together and we wanted to put something on because we totally understand what is happening in the world. And I think it's fair to say that the four of us are actually doing okay. And Nebila mentioned passing on tools and methods, and this is really why we wanted to put on this evening, because we really want to reach out and show people, I suppose, what's keeping us grounded at this time. So my brain is literally, I'm struggling here, Laura, thanks. So I suppose, first of all, yeah, my name is Lorraine. I am a spiritual coach. And tonight what I'm going to do is we're going to look at, again, I'm going to have us close our eyes, grounding ourselves, and we're really going to look at something. It's more about being aware of ourselves. When we came together, we said, there was so many different ideas that we were coming up with that we could have put together for tonight. We went with self-love, and we were coming up with different ideas like we were what was we saying, we're a path to self-love, because it's the best, what would we say, what did we ended up agreeing on a journey to self-love, and that it was going to be the best journey that you will ever go on. I think I speak for the four of us when I say, if there was anything that we would ask you to focus on, it would be self-love, because I think that is just the foundation for everything, literally the foundation for everything. I don't believe any other relationship can be at its peak without us loving ourselves. And I don't believe that anybody else will bring happiness to us. I think they'll only ever be an extension of the happiness within ourselves. So that is why we are going with self-love. So I don't know if anyone has pen and paper. Usually I'd get people to write this down, but for now, I'm going to ask us to close our eyes again. And I'm just going to ask you to really visualize this. And the reason why, a lot of time when I do work and we talk about visualizing, people say, I don't get it. I really struggle with visualizing. What is that? So visualizing is not just a case of being able to see it, in your mind's eye. It's feeling it. It's on a much deeper level. It's when you say you want something to change, it's just knowing, that gut instinct. Sometimes when you say to people, I knew that was going to happen. It's that gut, this is coming for you, greater things are coming for you. You can see it, you can feel it, you just know it's a matter of time. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do the tiniest bit maybe of what would happen in a coaching session, what would happen in like a manifestation session. So I'm just going to ask everyone to just be really honest with themselves, because this is just for you. And I suppose to bring into your awareness. There was a quote there that we talked about not so long ago, and it was, what is in your awareness can no longer control you. So once you're aware of something, it's up to yourself whether you're going to put up with it or not. But sometimes if we just give ourselves the time to reflect, we'll be we can be really surprised what is in our surroundings. So I'm just going to ask everyone just to close their eyes for just a few moments. And the first thing I'm going to ask everybody is just to mentally list to yourself 3 things that you really like about yourself. Be really honest. You don't have to play it down. Nobody else knows your thoughts, but it's just so important to realize what is amazing about yourself. What would others say is amazing about you? When you have that, I know a coaching term that is overly used is goal. Okay, so if you don't like that word, let's go with something, a goal that you'd like to achieve, an achievable dream, something you want to do, something you want to change in your life. Again, just being really honest with yourself and dream big. It doesn't have to be small. Nobody can hear your thoughts right now. This is your personal space. And I want you to really feel that. When you achieve that, how does it feel? What are those feelings it's bringing up inside you? Now I want you to think about, what can you do? Or what at the moment, what is stopping you from them dreams coming true? What's stopping you taking the next step? Is it a who? Is it a what? Is it a why? Again, being really honest with ourselves. Totally being aware of what's happening in our lives, who's in our lives, what surrounds us. And now that we are aware, what could we do to take ourselves one step closer? Do we ask somebody for help? Is it something we can do with ourselves? Just talking about in the next week or so, what little steps could we take? Now I want you to visualize you've taken that step. You've agreed on one step. How does that feel? Feel that positivity within yourself. When you finish this call, I'd love you to write down that one step or that one dream, because if we don't write it down, that's all it will ever be. It's just a dream. And I guarantee you came up with so many ideas of little steps that you can take. And that's all it ever is. There's a tagline I always use, and it's everything begins with one little step. And it's so true. To get to anywhere, there's always a series of steps that you will take. And there's so many tools visually that you can use. So, I mean, sometimes, we might feel a bit silly, if we're being honest, leaving things around, like, saying it out straight, different dreams. But there's so many tools. So if it's a case that it's a relationship that you're looking to manifest, put something romantic in your bedroom. It could be a pair of something. So two of something, whatever symbolizes romance to you. Leave things around the house like that. If it's if it's something to do with career, whatever that looks like to you, whatever that symbolizes to you, again, leave that around the house. There's only today, like, this has been who I am for many years now. I'm quite visual, but I was just saying to my husband, so I only actually started, say, a business face or Instagram a few months ago, and the people I follow, are just people that I really want to follow. It's not like your childhood friends, people that you feel obliged, let's say, to follow. And when I was going through my feed today, I was just smiling and smiling. And he says, "What are you smiling at your phone?" And I said, "I know it's going to sound crazy, but when we talk about positivity all the time, but when you can, and social media can really take a dampener, and you hear keyboard warriors, all this kind of thing. But when I was going through my feed today, it was just fabulous. I just absolutely loved it. And it just again brings me, and this is what I want to say, to keep your thoughts high, use whatever you can to keep that vibration high. So Laura gave us some positive affirmations there. And when I first heard affirmations, I thought, how ridiculous, if I'm being honest. I thought they were the silliest things. And now there's something I use all the time. Me and Laura were only talking about it during the week. So, you know, if it's on your laptop that you use, we were saying, you know, save it there, put it on the wall. My son, he's only 9, and you know, I'm constantly talking in this way to him. And he wrote a story in school, and it was on health and wellness, and it was all about feeding your brain positivity. And it's when you put all the pieces together, just keeping your vibration high, it's fabulous. And what Laura did there, that breathing exercise, that's achievable on your own at home. And there's just so many tools available to us. So I suppose tonight, what the 4 of us would love from you to get, if you just brought one tool or one idea, just one thing, if you took from this whole session, we'd be delighted with that, because that's literally what we want to pass on to you. So just something that you will use going forward. So I don't want to say too much, Rachel, because I know you're gonna, what I do have too, so whoever you follow, whatever that is, there is a 28-day self-love challenge. And some of the things on this might seem, it might seem really easy and really simple, but there's a reason for them all. So whoever you follow, just ask them to send you on a copy of that if you need, or you might have come across it on some of the Instagrams or Facebook. But there's so many important things to do there, and especially in this time, with us being quarantined and that kind of thing, it just keeps that vibration high. So it's definitely worth taking a look at, and definitely worth following. And any of the 4 of us would be happy to pass that on to you guys. So I think I'm gonna stop there. I'm quite conscious of time, and hand over to Nebila, who is going to talk about self-image to us. And I think you'll really enjoy Nebila. We've certainly enjoyed getting to know Nebila. So I will pass over, and I hope you enjoyed that. And just, if I don't know if people use Zoom or not, but down the bottom there is a chat option. So as I say, this night is for you guys. So if there's any questions you wanted to ask us, or there's anything that you know any of us do that you wanted to ask about more.
Okay.
Did I cut myself off, Nebila?
No, you're still on. You're still.
Am I still on?
Yeah, you're still on. Yeah.
See, this is why, there we go. Technology and me, for anyone that knows me will know, they just do not go hand in hand. It was the same tonight with the event and the password, and it's just, yeah. So that's me all over. I can help you with self-love. I can help you with tools and methods, but I'm not the go-to girl at technology. So there you go. I'm going to mute myself, Nebila, and I'm going to pass on to you.
Okay. Oh, that was absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, Lorraine. And absolutely, it's a great piece in here, the visualization piece. And speaking for myself, I did indeed struggle with the visualization. I always thought I was a visual person, and I even paint. But when it comes to visualizing, like seeing it in your mind's eyes, that and sustaining, especially the part where we have to sustain the image, that was it. Thank you so much. So this is, I like the how to, and when things go like step by step by step, the actionable steps that people can get out of the session. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna introduce Rachel to go next with her session, and then I will take it. I'll take the last piece in here. So I'm going to introduce Rachel. If Rachel, you're ready, right?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So Rachel is your happiness and mindset coach who helps women strengthen their self-worth to become the happiest, most confident version of themselves so they can manifest the life of their dreams. I love manifesting and manifestation. And on this note, I'll hand over to you, Rachel. Please help us manifest.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. This follows on quite nicely from the yoga and the visualization we've just been doing, because the technique I use, it does use affirmations, but in a slightly different way. So has anybody heard of tapping or emotional freedom technique? Just raise your hand if you know. Okay, you might think it's a little bit woo-woo when we do it. It looks a bit crazy, but just go with it and trust me. What it is a simple tapping technique that you do on your face and different parts of your body. And it's all based around the Chinese meridian points. And what happens with the energy flow of your meridian points, when we develop limiting beliefs, we end up blocking the flow of energy, and it stores as negative emotions and negative feelings in your body. And you know yourself, when you're feeling low, you're drained, your energy isn't the best. If you're feeling in a good mood, you're top of the world, you're bouncing, you know, and that's because we've got this flow of energy going through us. So the aim is to, a bit like Laura was saying with the layers, what the tapping does is it takes in an affirmation and it works not only on your brain at the, you know, the outer surface, it goes right into your subconscious and kind of reevaluates the belief that you're trying to talk about. So it gives you a new view on it, and it can dissolve any negative emotions that are attached to that belief. So from relieving them negative emotions, it then gives you a newfound freedom to move away from that. So if it's a trauma or something you're thinking about, it's not saying it's okay, but it's releasing your feeling, that negative feeling towards it. So it allows you to be free and start something new. So I'll go through the points with you. So we start off on the karate chop on any hand, and what you do, you just tap either with 3 fingers or 2 fingers, and we'll say a statement when we do that. And then you've got your head, so not right at the crown, but just in the middle. There's a point there. You can do it either hand. And then you go to the eyebrows, so just on the edge of your eyebrow is where your bone is. It's just there. Then the side of your head. Then underneath your eye. You don't have to remember this, you can watch me when I do it. Under your nose. Just in your chin, in the dent of your chin. And then you come down to the collarbone. So where you've got your U-shaped dent in the middle, if you just go across to the bone and it's just under there. And then the next point is where your brow line is, under your arm. I did warn you, it looks weird. And then back to your hand. Okay. So you start off with a negative statement. So that's something that might not sit well with you when we've just been doing positive affirmations, but trust me, it works. So thinking about what's your most negative thing at the moment. Are people dealing with stress, or would you say you may be not feeling good enough? So can we do a hands up and I'll choose which statement we go with. So is stress an issue for people? Or not feeling good enough? Okay, so we'll go with stress, and that's a nice easy one. There's more people with that one. But what you can do is take this and use it for anything. So you can replace the words with absolutely anything. So it could be weight loss, it could be you have a sore knee, just anything at all you can tap to try and release that. So we'll do it for stress, so somebody feeling stressed. and then I'll show you which bits to replace. So if you want to follow me, so we always start with a statement at your karate chop point. And when we do it, you want to tap about 10 to 15 times. So what happens is you say the statement about 3 times, and you can say it out loud, you're all on mute, so that's okay. So you say, even though I am stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay. Now, if we all just take a breath, okay, and think about how stressed we feel on a 1 to 10 scale. So, absolutely crazy amounts of stress is a 10, and minimal, I'm fine, I'm absolutely buzzing, is a 0. So think about that scale. You don't have to share it, just say it to yourself and think about where you are, and then we'll do another breathing exercise afterwards and just see where you are then. Okay, so have you all got your number? Yeah. All right, so we'll start. So again, even though I am stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Top of the head, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. The eyebrow, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. Just the side of the head, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. Underneath the eye, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. Just under the nose on your top lip, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. Just on your chin here, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. And on your collarbone, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. Then just on your bra, I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. And then even though I am stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I am stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay? Now, if you all take a really deep breath in, like Laura was saying, right from your diaphragm, and then when you release, do it with an oomph, do it with a sound, and do that 3 times. Okay, just bring yourself back to center and have a think about that number, your 0 to 10, and how are you feeling, and see whether it's come down. And then that's the technique you can do yourself at home. And if it hasn't come down much, you can do it again and repeat the cycle. And it does eventually, you know, calm yourself down, and it takes in the takes the tension out of what you're feeling. Has anybody felt a positive change on that? Nebila? Oh, good. Good. That one's good. And then as you get better, so say you've got a deep limiting belief, if it is I'm not enough, as you get more positive and you feel that you're not up there at a 10 or you're getting towards a 2, you can change your phrasing. So even though there's a little bit of stress, I deeply and completely love myself, accept myself, and then a little bit of stress, a little bit of stress. You can change your phrasing as you go along, and it helps to reduce it right down for you. So that was my session. If anybody's, I can send out any of the tapping points as well. I've got a visual for it, but I can't share my screen, so I'll share them out with everybody, and then if you need anything, contact your coach that you've got in the group. Okay. Thanks, Nebila.
Thank you so much, Rachel. That was absolutely, absolutely awesome. I knew about the tapping. I think I once saw it or something, but this was so, so powerful. And this is something actually you can do. And how many times do we get this out? Just today, it was like going hayway, and then you wish you have something like a technique.
I went to see, it was a massive turning point for me when I got introduced to tapping, and I did actually see a therapist for it who was, well, a practitioner in tapping, and they uncovered a limiting belief I'd been storing, and that was a massive turning point for my life. Once that was lifted, it was just like a whole cloud lifted. It was brilliant.
It's this is an absolutely, if you like, kind of a very smooth transition into my part, which is on self-image. Thank you so much, ladies. The yoga, the breathing, the visualization, and now the tapping. And I want to end up with the final piece, which I think is gonna just make this session absolutely like kind of round up and complete, which is on self-image. Absolutely. Right, just a little bit snapshot into what I'm talking about in terms of self-image. Like back in the 60s, there was this book, Psycho-Cybernetics, and Maxwell Maltz was a plastic surgeon, a doctor who did plastic surgery, and he was dealing with all of these casualties of the war, and he was helping them, get the nose fixed, get the some kind of issues with whatever it is part of the body. They had a disfiguration or something, and so he was helping them and what he did, he noticed that people have two images. There is the image of the outside that we show to the world, and there is an image inside, the image of us, what we believe ourselves to be and to have and to come and show ourselves in the world outside. So there are actually two images. There's the one we project in the outside world that everybody sees, but there is one inside. And actually, after doing a lot of experiments, he came up with a conclusion in that absolutely amazing book called Psycho-Cybernetics. And a lot of psychologists until today swear by it, is that self-image is actually more powerful. It's one of our either empowering or limiting beliefs. Our self-image could be either. So it's either you have a self-image that is going to help you really, soar high in your results in life, or you have a self-image that's going to limit you and hold you back and second guess you every time and sabotage whatever you are you whatever you want to do in life. So it could be either or. So that self-image is actually our autopilot system. Think about why psycho-cybernetics, this name is really, it's because it's the exact mechanism that is on a plane. So if a plane is on course and it's, if you like, on autopilot system between, let's say I'm in Riyadh, between Riyadh and London, Heathrow, then it's straight on course. And even with a little bit of turbulence or anything, could go up and down a little bit, but the cybernetic mechanism would quickly bring it on course. So he concluded, we can never outperform our self-image. We can never outperform ourselves. Even people who intellectually think, yeah, I wanna lose some pounds. Yeah, it's a very good idea to lose pounds. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'll start next month, next year. And then when D-Day comes, tomorrow comes, yeah, maybe not a good idea. Yeah, let's have that piece of cake and then we'll think about the diet later. And then we go on, and it could be years before because mentally you want it, intellectually you want it, but we need to understand that our mind, the mental part, is not the one that is in control of the execution. What is in control of the execution is that little self image autopilot system that we have inside. So it is very important that once in a while we come back, and this lockdown is a perfect place where we're going to revisit that self image, say, is it really helping me, supporting me in what I want to do in the future. And you can see once in a while it needs updating. Think of self image or the autopilot like your software in the computer. If you have a Vista and you want your computer, Lorraine, to run on Windows 11 and give you the Canva and the performance of all those things, it's not gonna do it. It's not gonna win. It's gonna work on Vista functionalities, right? So what do we need to do? We need to update. We need to update that software. We need to update. So once in a while, if I want to achieve these results, I better have a self-image that is supporting me do that. Now, let's put aside the theory and all of that stuff. What is one simple, doable, actionable step that we can do right now, right here, to one, access the self-image that we have? Because sometimes we are in denial. We don't want to go inside and see what is my self-image. First, we need to spend some time listening to the voices. There are two voices. Laura, took us on a journey. It was short, but it tells you to this place, the heart. So there is a voice coming from there. It's teeny, it's small, it's soft, and there is the other voice, which is here, the monkey voice. Yeah, the moment you start doing something, who do you think you are? Why do you think you deserve it? Do you think you're capable of doing that? Just happened to me when I was a school teacher and I was trying to open my business. I had a royal fight from the voice, the monkey voice in here. Who do you think you are? Teachers stay in the classroom. Teachers don't go and do business. What do you know about business? That was huge. And until you, and you know what? It's gonna win every time. The voice in here, it's times stronger than the soft inner place that you have in there that tells you maybe you have a chance at opening a business. Maybe your life is gonna be absolutely amazing if you do this. But then very quickly it's outperformed by the monkey voice. So you're gonna let this place speak. So you're gonna put your hand on this absolutely amazing place and feel that living place that is absolutely alive and wonderful and fulfilling and soft and peaceful and amazing voice, right? And you're gonna say certain statements to yourself. If I say these statements, how does it ring? Does it ring true? You feel it in your heart. It's true. I am beautiful. Feel the vibration. I am amazing. I can do anything I want. I am absolutely unstoppable. I am worthy of all the good that life has to offer. I do choose my state of being every day. I am unaffected by the economy. I am unaffected by the lockdown. I am who I am. I love who I am. I appreciate my life. I appreciate who I am. My life is absolutely fulfilling. State your name, Laura, Lorraine, Rachel, Denise, and so on. I love you. 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 You may want to open your eyes now and reflect on these statements. There are statements you felt much stronger than the others. I didn't want to go on the negative statements or the statements that aren't so empowering, but you can put your hand in there and test with some statements. If you say something about I am, and everything should be connected with I am if you are thinking self image. I am is the name of God. I am is that soft, smooth, amazing, powerful, all knowing, all powerful place that is inside. You may call it God, universal intelligence, the universe, energy, whatever is it. And then you feel it. You feel if the statement is ringing right or not. Maybe on a scale from 1 to 10, some of them were 10, some of them were 5, some of them were 4, and then go with it. Now, these statements that did not ring true and you want to change them, you would go and write them. The script of your life as it is right now. How is your life right now? Describe it. Write something. And then what you're going to do, you put it aside and you're going to describe, you're going to say the exact opposite of the other part and write the script of your self-image as you want it. Stand in front of the mirror, burn the old self-image, and repeat in front of the mirror the new self-image. That little voice is going to tell you, what are you doing? What is she saying this, Nebila? This is crazy. This is absolutely silly. Don't go with it, but stay with it. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Then the little voice is going to go, smaller and smaller. And there's another voice that's going to come in. Maybe, let me do it. I'm not losing anything. And then, oh yeah, it feels good. It feels so good. Yeah, I believe it. And one day you will wake up and you are that new self-image. That self-image has replaced the old one. This is the power of repetition. There is absolutely, that's the law of laws, repetition. We learned everything in our life through repetition. If you want to unwire the old self-image that was placed in our mind by well-intentioned parents, society, media, what, and replace with a new one, repetition. You write the script of your life and you repeat it in front of the mirror. Thanks, everyone. This is my part. I'm gonna unmute everyone for if you have any questions or reactions or anything for us. You're all unmuted, everyone.
That was so nice, Nebila. Thank you for that.
Welcome. Let's see.
Has anybody got any questions they want to ask or anything?
Can you actually hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh
Trisha.
my God, I thought I was totally mute.
You're quite quiet.
That was great.
Oh, good.
That was great. Right through. I really enjoyed a lot of it.
Okay.
Especially the top.
I love your mirror. I can see your chakra mirror in the background.
I had to turn around the other way because my back was killing. And my brow, I sort of stuck it up well.
I do feel a bit more lighter in my body.
That's good.
I don't, yeah, not weird in any way, but just like a bit more like lighter.
We did do quite a bit there, so I would maybe drink a lot of water, because you might feel, you might feel a little bit tired later. So just be aware of that we did quite a lot of inner work there. So
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
A lot of water, rehydrate.
I think we agreed we would all maybe have materials that we can share collectively as well. We'll gather just small, like a document or something. We've all got little bits and pieces that we could share again. There's a lot of information there, so we'll do our best to get that to you in another form. I think we were going to do that in some way, weren't we? We're like your gratitude challenge, Lorraine, and the meridian points, Rachel, and any other pointers between me and Nebila that we think would be helpful. We'll get that to you.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.